Right now, there's a girl in your life sending you signals that are driving you absolutely insane. She's looking at you with those eyes that say, yes, but her actions scream, maybe. You're decoding every text, analyzing every glance, wondering if you're going crazy or if she's playing some twisted game with your heart. Here's what's really happening. There are 10 specific mixed signals that 99% of women give to men they're attracted to, and most guys completely misread every single one. By the end of this video, you'll know exactly what each signal means and how to respond like the confident man she's actually testing you to be. But first, let me tell you about the night that changed everything for me. Her name was Ashley. 3 months of what I thought was the perfect connection. Late-night conversations that lasted until sunrise. The way she touched my arm when she laughed. The intense eye contact that made my heart skip beats. I was convinced she was falling for me just as hard as I was falling for her. Then came that Tuesday night at Miller's bar when everything I thought I knew about women shattered into 1,000 pieces. What happened that night revealed the brutal truth about female psychology that no one talks about. And by the time you hear the end of this story, you'll understand why that devastating night was actually the greatest gift any woman ever gave me. But before I tell you what happened, you need to understand the first mixed signal that was destroying my chances with Ashley from day one. Mixed signal number 1. She talks about other guys. The first mixed signal that will mess with your head. She clearly likes you, but keeps mentioning other guys who are interested in her, and she seems interested in them too. Here's what was killing me about Ashley. She'd spend hours texting me, sharing her deepest thoughts, making me feel like I was the only man in her world. Then casually drop bombs like, oh, this guy Derek from my yoga class asked me out again today. He's actually pretty sweet. My stomach would drop every time. Was she trying to make me jealous? Did she not actually like me? Was I just another option on her roster? Here's the brutal truth most guys never learn. When women do this, it's usually because they fundamentally misunderstand male psychology. You see, women are attracted to men that other women want. It's called mate choice copying. So Ashley thought that telling me about Derek would make me see her as more desirable, more valuable. But here's what she didn't understand. When a woman does this to a man, instead of making him more attracted, it triggers his deepest fear, betrayal. We start wondering, will she be loyal? Is she the type who needs constant attention from other men? If we get together, will she cheat? But there's something even more devastating happening here that most men never realize. Ashley wasn't just trying to make herself seem more desirable. She was terrified. Absolutely terrified of opening her heart to me and getting rejected. So she kept Derek around as emotional insurance, proof to herself that if I didn't want her, someone else did. This is where most guys make the fatal mistake. They either get angry and walk away, or they start competing with the other guy, trying to prove they're better. Both reactions scream insecurity to a woman. The confident response? You don't see other men as competition because you know your own value. You focus on the connection between you and her, right here, right now. If she keeps playing games after you've made your interest clear, then she's showing you who she is, believe her and move on. But Ashley's mind games were just beginning. Which brings us to mixed signal number 2. Mixed signal number 2, hard to pin down for dates. She seems attracted when you talk, but getting her to commit to actual plans feels like negotiating a peace treaty. Sound familiar? With Ashley, I'd suggest dinner and she'd say, maybe. I'd propose drinks and she'd counter with, I'm pretty busy this week. Then a week later, she'd text me at midnight saying she missed talking to me. Here's what I learned the hard way. Sometimes this happens because her life is genuinely chaotic: family drama, work stress, emotional baggage from past relationships. She likes you, but she's not emotionally ready to date. But more often, it's because you're coming across as desperate, already planning your future together before you've even kissed. You're putting the cart before the horse, talking to her like she's your girlfriend when you haven't even established basic attraction. Here's the female psychology lesson that will save you months of frustration. A woman who's truly attracted will work around obstacles to see you. If she's constantly making excuses, either her attraction is low, or you're pushing too hard for commitment before building real chemistry. The solution? Suggest one alternative. If she shoots that down too without offering her own solution, You have your answer. Move on. But I wish someone had told me this before that night at Miller's bar. Because what Ashley did next shattered every assumption I had about women and dating. She agreed to meet me at Miller's bar, finally, after weeks of maybe and I'm busy. I thought this was it. I thought she was finally ready to stop playing games. I had no idea I was walking into an emotional ambush that would leave me questioning everything I thought I knew about female attraction. But first, let me tell you about mixed signal number 3 because this one was happening right under my nose and I was completely blind to it. Mixed signal number 3. She never initiates. She lights up when you talk to her, responds to your texts with enthusiasm, but never starts conversations herself. Never approaches you first. Never sends that first text. This drove me crazy with Ashley. Our conversations were incredible, deep, funny, intimate. But I was always the one reaching out. I was always the one making the first move. And that voice in my head kept whispering, if she really liked you, wouldn't she text you first sometimes? Here's the reality that crushed my ego. Most women are traditional when it comes to courtship, even in 2025. They're waiting to see if you have what psychologists call traditional masculinity. They want to know, are you actually going to lead? Are you going to take charge? Or are you going to wait around for her to do the work? Think about it from her perspective. If she has to chase you, initiate everything, and be the pursuer, what does that say about how you'll handle challenges in life? In a relationship? When things get tough, are you the type of man who steps up, or the type who waits for someone else to solve the problem? This is where the female psychology gets really interesting. Women are subconsciously testing your masculine leadership from the very beginning. If you need her to text first, call first, suggest plans first, you're failing her most basic test. The woman who's genuinely attracted to you wants to feel feminine in your presence. She wants to feel pursued, desired, claimed. When you make her do all the work, you're forcing her into the masculine role, and that kills her attraction faster than anything. But here's where it gets really twisted. Mixed signal number 4. Hot and cold behavior. One day she's all over you, the next day she's distant. One conversation she's flirting heavily, the next she barely responds. Hot and cold, until you feel like you're losing your mind. With Ashley, this was the pattern that nearly broke me. Monday she'd send me these long, vulnerable messages about her dreams and fears. Tuesday she'd give me one-word responses. Wednesday she'd call me just to hear my voice. Thursday she'd barely acknowledge me when I saw her. Here's what no one tells you. When a woman goes hot and cold, it's usually one of two things. Either she's protecting her heart because she's scared of getting hurt, or your behavior is inconsistent and sometimes attractive, sometimes repulsive. The brutal truth? Most of the time, it's the second one. Sometimes you're being confident and challenging, creating that spark she craves. Other times you're being needy, desperate, or trying too hard to be romantic when she just wants to feel excited. Women mirror your energy more than you realize. If you're emotionally unstable, if your confidence comes and goes, if you're sometimes the prize and sometimes the desperate pursuer, she'll be hot and cold right back. This is the part that destroyed me. I thought Ashley's hot and cold behavior meant she was playing games. I didn't realize I was the one creating it with my own inconsistent behavior. But nothing, and I mean nothing, prepared me for what happened at Miller's bar that night. I walked in wearing my best shirt, heart pounding with hope. Ashley was already there, looking absolutely stunning in this black dress that made my breath catch. For a moment I thought, this is it. Tonight changes everything. Then I saw him. Some guy I'd never seen before, sitting right next to her, making her laugh in a way that made my chest tighten with pure rage. She saw me walk in, caught my eye, and smiled like nothing was wrong. That's when mixed signal number 5 hit me like a freight train. Mixed signal number 5. She calls you buddy or pal. Even when there's obvious chemistry, obvious connection, she keeps friend-zoning you with words like buddy, pal, or friend. Standing there watching Ashley with this stranger, all those times she'd called me buddy, suddenly made sense in the most painful way possible. Every thanks, buddy, after I'd helped her. Every you're such a good friend, after our deep conversations. Here's what I learned that night. When a woman calls you buddy, while showing signs of attraction, she's usually doing one of three things. She's attracted but not sure yet, you're an option, not the option. Or she's attracted but thinks you're too good for her, so she's protecting herself from potential rejection. But sometimes, and this is the one that cuts deepest, she's attracted but not enough. You're nice to have around, you make her feel good about herself, but you're not making her feel that primal, undeniable attraction that makes her want to rip your clothes off. The buddy label is often a woman's way of keeping you in orbit while she figures out if someone better will come along. You're the safe choice, the backup plan, the emotional tampon she uses to feel better about herself. That realization was crushing. But what happened next at Miller's bar made everything click into place. I walked over, and Ashley introduced me to Brad. This is my friend I was telling you about. Friend. Not the guy she'd been texting until 2 a.m. Not the man she'd shared her deepest secrets with. Her friend. Brad looked me up and down with this smug smile, and I felt something die inside my chest. But then Ashley did something that confused me even more. She started asking me all these personal questions in front of Brad. Wanting to know about my day, my feelings, my thoughts, like she was trying to get me to open up emotionally while giving this stranger nothing. That's when mixed signal number 6 became crystal clear. Mixed signal number 6, she won't open up but wants you to. She keeps her cards close to her chest, reveals nothing about her real thoughts and feelings, but expects you to be an open book. She wants your emotional vulnerability while offering none of her own. Sitting there at Miller's bar, watching Ashley probe me for emotional responses while Brad just sat back looking amused, I realized what was happening. She was using me as her emotional entertainment while keeping her real interest focused on him. Here's the female psychology behind this behavior. Sometimes it means she's not attracted enough yet to risk vulnerability. Other times, she's been hurt before and keeps her walls up until she's sure about someone. But often, and this is the brutal truth, she's testing to see how easily you can be controlled and manipulated. If you'll spill your guts while she gives you nothing, it signals that you're not the emotionally strong man she's looking for. Women want a man who's stronger than them emotionally. If you're more eager to open up than she is, if you need her emotional validation more than she needs yours, you've reversed the power dynamic in a way that kills attraction. The man she really wants is the one who makes her want to chase his approval, not the other way around. And that night, watching Brad barely acknowledge her questions while she hung on his every word, I saw exactly what type of man she was actually attracted to. Mixed signal number 7. She flirts with other guys in front of you. She's talking to you, seems interested in you, but openly flirts with other men right in front of you. It's like she's rubbing your face in your own inadequacy. At Miller's bar, I watched Ashley transform. With me, she was comfortable, familiar, almost sisterly. With Brad, she became this vibrant, flirtatious version of herself I'd never seen. Touching his arm when she laughed. Leaning in close when he spoke. Playing with her hair. Here's what I learned about this devastating mixed signal. When a woman flirts with other guys in front of you, she's often testing to see if you'll step up and claim her, or if you'll shrink back like a wounded puppy. The female psychology here is brutal but simple. She wants to see if you see yourself as her equal, or if you see other men as superior competition. A confident man doesn't see other guys as threats, he sees them as other guys. He knows his own value. But if you get jealous, insecure, or start competing for her attention, you're signaling that you don't feel worthy of her. You're showing her that you see other men as better than you. And nothing kills attraction faster than a man who doesn't believe in his own value. The twist? Sometimes she's not even trying to make you jealous. Sometimes she's flirting with other guys to signal that she's available for something casual, not serious. She's trying to tell you, I'm down for fun, but don't catch feelings. But watching Ashley that night, I knew it was neither of those things. She was showing me exactly where I stood in her hierarchy of men. I was the emotional support, the safe harbor, the friend she could count on. Brad was the man who made her pulse race. And the most devastating part? I had done this to myself. Every time I'd been available when she needed someone to listen. Every time I'd dropped everything to help her with some crisis. Every time I'd been the nice, reliable, predictable guy, I was teaching her to see me as the friend, not the lover. I sat there watching her give Brad the version of herself I thought was reserved for me, and I realized I'd been living in a fantasy. Everything I thought we had was just her using me for emotional validation while she kept her real attraction for men who didn't worship the ground she walked on. But the night wasn't over. Because mixed signal number 8 was about to deliver the final blow to my ego. Mixed signal number 8. She'll meet up but not as a date. She's willing to spend time with you, but makes it crystal clear that whatever you're doing together is not a date. Just hanging out. Just as friends. Just casual. That night at Miller's bar wasn't supposed to be a date, according to Ashley. Just drinks with friends, she'd said. Low-key, no pressure. I thought she was just being modest, trying not to seem too eager. Now I understood. She was managing my expectations, making sure I didn't get the wrong idea about what this meant to her. While I was thinking this was our romantic breakthrough, she was thinking this was friend time with her emotional support human. Here's the psychology. When a woman insists something isn't a date, she's usually trying to slow down a guy who's coming on too strong with relationship energy. She likes you enough to spend time with you, but you're giving her serious boyfriend vibes when she just wants to see if there's any real chemistry. The brutal irony? By being so relationship-focused from the beginning, by treating her like my girlfriend before we'd even kissed, I was actually repelling her. She wanted to feel excited, desired, seduced, not like she was interviewing for the position of my wife. Women want to feel like they're being chosen for who they are in the moment, not for how well they fit into your relationship fantasies. But watching Brad that night, I saw exactly how a man handles this situation differently. Mixed signal number 9. She'll kiss you but won't have sex. The chemistry is there, you're making out, the tension is electric, but when things start getting more intimate, she puts on the brakes. She's not a virgin, she's done this before, but not with you. This one hadn't happened with Ashley yet, but I'd experienced it with other women, and watching her with Brad made me understand why. When a woman will kiss you but won't sleep with you, it usually means the attraction isn't strong enough. You're not making her feel safe and excited at the same time. Here's the harsh truth. Women need to feel like you're emotionally stronger than them to fully let go sexually. If you seem intimidated by her, if you're tense and awkward, if you're more nervous than she is, it creates this weird dynamic where she feels like she's the one in charge, and that kills her ability to surrender to the moment. Sex for women isn't just physical, it's emotional. She needs to feel like she's opening up to a man who's more grounded, more confident, more self-assured than she is. If she feels like she's the stronger one emotionally, sex starts to feel wrong, awkward, off. And watching Brad's easy confidence, the way Ashley melted around him, I realized why I'd never gotten past kissing with the women I really wanted. But the final mixed signal was happening right in front of me that night, and it was the most devastating of all. She doesn't want to see you more than once a week. Ashley had always been busy. Always had some excuse for why we couldn't spend more time together. But watching her with Brad, seeing how she cleared her schedule, how she made herself available, how she prioritized his attention, I understood. When a woman says she can only see you once a week, it's not because she's busy. It's because you're not a priority. You're not making her feel that irresistible attraction that makes her want to reorganize her entire life around seeing you. The woman who's truly attracted doesn't care how busy she is. She'll find time. She'll make excuses to see you. She'll invite you over just to spend an hour together before bed. But when you're just an option, when you're the backup plan, when you're the emotional support friend, then yes, once a week is enough. Because that's all the energy she wants to invest in someone who doesn't make her heart race. Sitting there at Miller's bar, watching Ashley give Brad the version of herself I'd been desperately trying to earn for months, I felt something break inside me. Not just my heart, my entire understanding of women, dating, and my own value as a man. That's when I excused myself to the bathroom and had the breakdown that changed my life forever. Standing in that bathroom mirror, looking at my own reflection, I made a decision that transformed everything. I was done being the nice guy. Done being the emotional support. Done being the friend who got the scraps while other men got the feast. I walked back out there, said goodbye to Ashley without any emotion or explanation, and left Miller's bar that night as a different man. Over the next 6 months, I dove deep into understanding female psychology, not from a place of bitterness, but from a place of wanting to become the type of man women actually desired, not just the type they used for emotional validation. What I learned changed everything. Here's what I discovered. Every single one of these mixed signals comes down to one thing: attraction levels. When a woman is massively attracted to you, there are no mixed signals. She makes time. She initiates. She's available. She prioritizes you. Mixed signals happen when her attraction is lukewarm. You're nice enough, safe enough, good enough for some attention, but you're not making her feel that primal, undeniable desire that makes her act irrationally. The solution isn't to decode her signals better. It's to become the type of man who doesn't get mixed signals because women are too attracted to play games. That means understanding confidence isn't arrogance. It's knowing your own value without needing her validation. It means being a challenge, making her feel like she needs to impress you, not the other way around. It means leading the interaction instead of following her emotional temperature. Most importantly, it means understanding that attraction isn't negotiable. You can't convince someone to want you. You can't logic your way into her heart. You either trigger those primal attraction switches or you don't. 6 months after that devastating night at Miller's bar, I ran into Ashley again. This time, everything was different. This time, she was the one asking when we could hang out. She was the one texting first. She was the one making time in her busy schedule. Why was that? Because I had finally learned what I'm about to share with you right now. If you're tired of getting mixed signals, tired of being the nice guy who finishes last, tired of watching other men get the women you want, then you need to understand this. The problem isn't them. It's not that women are confusing or playing games. The problem is that you haven't learned how to trigger genuine attraction. But here's the good news: everything can change. I went from being Ashley's emotional support friend to having her chase me, and it wasn't because I became a jerk or changed my personality. I just learned the psychological switches that create real, undeniable attraction. How I finally stopped being the friendzone guy. Without changing my personality. With one simple move, you can stop losing women that initially liked you because you couldn't play the game. Re-enter the dating scene with confidence at any age. Pass each and every one of women's secret tests. Unlock the Scrambler is the only system that combines eliminating the nice guy behavior ingrained in so many men with the most cutting-edge discoveries of modern psychology. So you can gain the attraction of women, project personal power, and avoid the let's just be friends speech for good. This isn't about manipulation or tricks. This is about understanding female psychology at such a deep level that attraction becomes automatic. You'll know exactly what to say, how to act, and when to make your move so that women see you as the man they've been waiting for, not just another nice guy they can friendzone. The link is in the description below. Don't spend another night wondering what she's really thinking. Don't waste another month being someone's backup plan while other men get what you want. Learn what I learned. Become who I became. And watch how quickly everything changes when you finally understand the game you've been playing blind. Click that link now, and let's make sure you never have to decode another mixed signal again. Because when you're doing this right, there won't be any mixed signals to decode.